Hey, what's up, everyone? So, just this past week, ESPN reported that Dak Prescott signed a 4-year contract with the Dallas Cowboys that's worth $160 million, and $124 million of that money is guaranteed. Now, did the Cowboys make the right decision in re signing Prescott? Is he going to be the same player he was before he suffered this gruesome injury he suffered last season? Or will he come back a totally different player? So in this video, we're going to revisit Dak's injury, look at the mechanism of the injury, and discuss the anatomy behind what exactly happened, and also look at the rehab timeline for Dak and what all this could mean for the Cowboys Nation and Dak Prescott going forward. If we haven't met yet, my name is Jin. I'm a second-year DPT student, and I post every week on just about anything related to physical therapy and DPT school as well, although this is the topic we're going to discuss today. So if that is something that sounds interesting to you, please consider subscribing and turning the notifications on. So Adam Schefter confirmed back in October that Dak did indeed suffer an ankle dislocation and a compound fracture. So two things to look out for here. Number one, compound fracture just means that it's an open fracture, meaning the bones were exposed and were penetrated through the surface of the skin. And number two, ankle dislocation just means that the bones that make up his ankle joint were displaced and put out of place due to an external trauma in this case. So a big red flag here is the compound fracture or an open fracture, especially on a surface like a football field, because that could increase the likelihood of an infection, just like we saw with Alex Smith, and that could really complicate the rehab procedure. Alright, so now we're going to take a look at the injury itself. This was a game against the Giants for the Cowboys, and it looks like it was week 5. And so here's Dak. He's escaping the pocket. Nothing wrong there. And that's number 23 for the Giants. That kind of brings him down. And as you can see in this video, his ankle's already kind of put out of its place or where it should be. Now we're going to zoom into the injury itself here. Like I said, number 23 for the Giants. That brings him down. And you can see his right ankle is already planted right there. And another key thing to mention here is that his ankle is already experiencing some external rotation moment, which is a primary factor for an ankle dislocation in this case. So if we continue watching, his foot is planted, his right foot is planted, and the defender or the opponent just comes from the side, which resulted in a fracture. So there it is. His ankle is just bent, and it really shouldn't be bent like that, as I'm sure you guys are aware. And so he goes down. Let's look at the anatomy of our ankle. Here I have the right ankle. Here's a fibula, here's the tibia, and then here is the talus. And these three are typically what makes up our higher ankle joint. And so you can see that the dislocation happened around here at this joint because of that excessive external moment that was caused by the foot being planted in that position, and then the defender coming from the outside. And that external trauma is what caused the fracture to happen higher up in his lower leg. Alright, so we know that Dak's injury required a surgery to put those bones back in place and let it heal, essentially. And so even before Dak could start an active rehab process, he needed to check some things off the list, like demonstrating medical stability, clearing weight-bearing restrictions, and demonstrating no infections like we talked about earlier at the surgical site. So a typical rehab for high ankle sprains or dislocation or fracture injuries like this tend to start with range of motion exercises as soon as you're cleared. So there's a couple different things that you can do for range of motion at the ankle. You can start drawing alphabets with your ankle, or do ankle four-ways to really try to improve that range of motion and improve pain and stiffness that could occur after a major surgery like this. So as the patient gets closer to gaining their full range of motion back at the ankle, you want to start thinking about strengthening exercises, strengthening those muscles that are responsible for moving your ankle. Now, with Dak, he needs his ankle for more than just walking, right? His ankle needs to meet the demands of an NFL quarterback. So he needs his ankle to consistently cut, change directions, and sprint when he has to. And his ankle is also responsible for generating the power from ground up when he throws the football a couple hundred yards every game, every week during the season. So the ankle not only plays a significant role in terms of mobility for a quarterback like Dak, but it also is very important in providing stability and proprioception at the ankle in terms of coordinating their limbs, meaning their legs and arms, with their trunk, and really timing their throws with knowing where their feet are at the moment. Now, I'm not saying that Dak's going to come back from his injury next season and not be as good as he used to be. If anything, I'm very happy to see that he was able to work through that rehab process and come back to play football again. It'll be very interesting to see how he adapts to what he might have now, which is chronic ankle instability, and how he adapts his playing style to that. So that's a wrap for today. I would be very interested to see or hear what you guys have to say about his injury and his potential going forward. So please leave it in the comments down below, and thank you for watching.